Guys, we are lucky to have Precious Miora here, and she's been at the Diddy parties, and she's about to spill some secrets.
Today, just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to...
The story of Sean Diddy Combs has taken an unexpected and shocking turn. Once a towering figure of fame, wealth, and influence, celebrated as a titan of the music industry, the spotlight that once glorified him now reveals a darker side. Emerging evidence paints a chilling picture of an empire allegedly built not just on talent and ambition, but also on control, manipulation, and long-buried secrets he fought hard to conceal.
Wait a minute. Say that again. Say that again. Back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of.
The scale of what investigators have uncovered is staggering. When federal agents raided Diddy's properties in Los Angeles, Miami, and even his private jet earlier this year, they weren't just searching for evidence. They found an arsenal. Among the seized items were illegal firearms, including 3 modified rifles with defaced serial numbers, ammunition, and a drum magazine capable of holding dozens of rounds. These weren't hidden away in some forgotten corner. They were reportedly kept within easy reach, sparking serious questions about their intended purpose. But the weapons were only the beginning. Investigators also uncovered a wealth of digital evidence from devices seized during the raids. This included hours of recordings and images that prosecutors claim are tied to Diddy's infamous freak-off parties. Far from ordinary celebrity gatherings, these events were allegedly planned with meticulous precision, from the accommodations to the exclusive guest list. The retrieved footage reportedly reveals acts so shocking and disturbing that they have left many questioning the depths of the scandal.
Did in fact occur, their argument is more than likely going to be that this activity was consensual, that this person was a willing participant, and not only that, but that these individuals assumed the risk of being present at those parties, of engaging and voluntarily engaging in this conduct and being in those spaces, consuming alcohol and things of that nature.
Then there's a bizarre discovery of what investigators called mysterious supplies. Among the seized items were over 1,000 bottles of personal lubricants and oils. Yes, you read that right, more than 1,000. These weren't scattered casually across his properties. They were reportedly stored in bulk, almost like inventory for a business. Prosecutors alleged this was part of Diddy's preparation for his effeminate freak-off parties, ensuring they were fully stocked for whatever activities he had planned. It's a disturbing detail that adds yet another layer of intrigue to an already damning case.
Now, to the latest on the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. This one has so many people talking. The disgraced music mogul facing federal racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking charges. Both the prosecution and defense teams are set to discuss the next phase of action following the indictment as investigators work to determine potential co-conspirators. But how exactly did we get here?
But perhaps the most shocking twist in this saga is what's reportedly happening behind bars. Federal prosecutors claim that even while detained at the Brooklyn Detention Center, Diddy has managed to maintain control. Astonishingly, he's been accused of making dozens, if not hundreds of calls to his associates, cleverly using not only his own phone line, but also those of other inmates to evade detection. Transcripts of these calls allegedly reveal instructions to tie up loose ends, with one cryptic directive standing out: get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. If that sounds like a code for something more sinister, prosecutors certainly think so. And then there's the infamous handwritten to-do list discovered among Diddy's belongings, which prosecutors describe as a smoking gun. On the list were instructions for a family member to dig up dirt on 2 of his accusers. Instead of focusing on his defense, Diddy was allegedly plotting to discredit those who dared to speak out against him. These revelations have left many questioning just how far he's willing to go to protect himself, with prosecutors accusing him of obstruction of justice and witness intimidation.
did in fact occur, their argument is more than likely going to be that this activity was consensual, that this person was a willing participant, and not only that, but that these individuals assumed the risk of being present at those parties, of engaging and voluntarily engaging in this conduct and being in those spaces, consuming alcohol and things of that nature.
The audacity of it all has left even seasoned legal experts reeling. It's rare for someone facing such serious charges to allegedly manipulate their case from behind bars under strict supervision, but that's exactly what Diddy is accused of doing. If the allegations are true, they're not just troubling, they're chilling, painting a picture of a man who sees himself as untouchable, above the law and its consequences. What's even more shocking is how this scandal is dismantling Diddy's meticulously crafted public persona. For years, he was celebrated as the life of the party and a self-made mogul who turned a rags to riches story into a billion-dollar empire. From chart-topping hits to luxury brands, he was seen as a symbol of success, proof that hard work and ambition could make dreams come true. But now, that shining image is crumbling, replaced by a darker reality that's far from the glitz and glamour he once embodied.
Welcome to Popcorn Planet's The Interview, the series where we get in depth with amazing people, and I'm so honored to have this special guest with us here. Precious Muir, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, my love?
I'm great. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm making sure I center you a little bit more. There we go. So honored to have you here. You have some stories to tell. You've survived the white party.
Take, for instance, the allegations surrounding Diddy's infamous parties, once legendary in celebrity circles for their extravagance and star-studded guest lists. These events are now under a harsh spotlight, as former attendees have come forward with disturbing accounts that paint a much darker picture. Precious Muir, a former model, publicly described the gatherings as environments designed to exploit young and vulnerable individuals, treated as objects for the amusement of the powerful. According to Muir, these parties were meticulously orchestrated and with claims that hidden cameras were placed in private areas of Diddy's properties, including bedrooms, a chilling allegation Diddy's legal team has strongly denied. Even more troubling is the alleged culture of control within Diddy's inner circle. Prosecutors assert that his staff played an active role in enabling and covering up his purported actions. From preparing rooms to coordinating logistics, they allegedly ensured that everything appeared polished and normal from the outside, while concealing what was truly happening behind closed doors. This level of complicity raises serious questions about the extent of the cover-up and whether more individuals cope.
There was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the video.
Then there's the shocking twist involving Diddy's legal team. His lead defense attorney has abruptly resigned from the case, sending ripples through legal circles. While no official explanation has been provided, speculation is rampant that the mountain of evidence against Diddy has made the case untenable. When a client is allegedly caught on tape, instruction of justice and the evidence fills rooms, even the best lawyer faces an uphill battle. This dramatic resignation underscores the gravity of Diddy's situation, raising questions about just how much worse things could get. The bigger question remains, how did someone who seemingly had it all, fame, fortune, and a legacy, end up embroiled in one of the most jaw-dropping scandals in recent memory? The answer may lie in the very empire he built. For years, Diddy portrayed an image of opulence and control, a man who thrived on living life by his own rules. But behind the carefully polished exterior, whispers of questionable behavior lingered. Now, those whispers have erupted into a full-blown scandal, peeling back the layers to reveal a side of Diddy that the world had long speculated about, but could never fully confirm. Until now.
Pretty early in the proceedings. I think it's only been about a month or a month and a half since he's been arraigned and held in detention. And so The investigations are always going to be a continuous and ongoing process. I'm sure at this point there's been an exchange of discovery. And not only that, but I think there's been a gag order placed on the attorneys with information that they can and cannot share. But more importantly,
It appears hidden cameras were a disturbing element in this unfolding story, particularly in Diddy's Atlanta home. Reports suggest that individuals were unknowingly recorded, with the footage raising serious questions about privacy violations. The videos, now central to the investigation, seem to involve unsuspecting participants who had no idea they were being filmed. What happens next remains uncertain. With new evidence surfacing daily, this story is far from over. The once untouchable Diddy is now in the fight of his life, his carefully curated image forever tarnished. Beyond the allegations against him, this case has sparked a larger conversation about power, privilege, and accountability within the entertainment industry. As the ripple effects continue, it's clear this is more than a scandal. It's a long overdue reckoning, and the industry may never be the same.
Okay, so basically I was a Playboy bunny. So a Playboy bunny representing New York State. The reason why I need to clarify this is when you're a Playboy bunny, you are part of the corporation, and you are a bunny, and you do have a title, and you wear a uniform, but you don't get a month.
The storm surrounding Sean Diddy Combs continues to intensify, with each new revelation casting a darker shadow over the once untouchable music mogul. His empire, once a symbol of success and opulence, now seems to crumble under the weight of allegations as shocking as they are far-reaching. What started as whispers of misconduct has evolved into a sprawling scandal spanning decades, implicating not just Diddy, but an entire web of enablers and associates. The unfolding narrative feels ripped from the pages of a Hollywood thriller. But this time, it's painfully real, and the repercussions are monumental.
Everyone keeps saying to me, like, how did you keep, why did you keep going? Why were you there? I'm like, it literally is around me. If I don't stay at home, this is the atmosphere I'm in. Like, I have no choice.
Let's delve into Diddy's alleged control over others, which paints a chilling picture of how power can be utterly corrupting. Investigators and former associates describe him as a man obsessed with control over his image, his empire, and even the lives of those around him. This wasn't simply about wielding influence or being a perfectionist. The allegations suggest something much darker and more sinister. According to sources close to the case, Diddy didn't just seek influence. He craved domination, using manipulation, fear, and even brute force to assert his will.
The person that really put their hands on women really is men who have feminine traits. So, it really takes a coward to put his hands on a woman. So, a man is so strong enough, we can just walk away. You can do, there's so many different things that you can do other than get upset, put your hands on a woman. But that comes from a man who's not quite a grown man.
But physical aggression wasn't the only weapon Diddy allegedly used to maintain control. Sources claim he also relied heavily on financial manipulation. Employees and associates were reportedly lured in with promises of wealth and success, only to find themselves trapped in a web of dependence. By controlling their paychecks, living arrangements, and even their opportunities in the industry, Diddy was able to keep people under his thumb. One insider described it as golden handcuffs, a life of luxury that came at the cost of freedom. And then there are the parties. Once the stuff of celebrity legend, these gatherings are now being re-examined in a far more sinister light. Diddy's infamous events, often dubbed white parties for their strict dress codes, are attended by the biggest names in Hollywood, music, and sports. These were the kinds of swanky soirees where A-listers mingled with rising stars, where champagne flowed freely and the night seemed limitless. However, according to multiple accounts, these parties had a darker side. Former attendees described them as carefully staged spectacles designed to blur boundaries and test limits. One former model said she felt like fresh meat the moment she walked through the door.
He is very, very dominant. Like, he wants to control the situation. He wants to control his inner circle. He wants to make everyone have a good time and enjoy his parties. And so, it is scary because you think, this person or possibly his social network or the people he's around could make or break your career.
And then there's the matter of the hidden cameras. Yes, you heard that right. Hidden cameras. Several former attendees, including Playboy Bunny, Precious Mirror, have alleged that certain rooms in Diddy's mansions were outfitted with concealed recording devices. While it's not uncommon for high-profile homes to have security systems, the idea that cameras might have been placed in private areas like bedrooms raises all kinds of questions. What was being recorded? And more importantly, why? While there's no concrete evidence to prove these claims, just the suggestion of such behavior adds another layer of unease to an already disturbing narrative. Perhaps the most shocking allegations to emerge from these events involve the way young and vulnerable attendees were reportedly treated. Precious Mirror has spoken out about the predatory atmosphere at some of these parties, describing how newcomers were often plied with substances and encouraged to let their guard down. Gano, according to Mir, this wasn't just about having a good time. It was about identifying who could be manipulated. It was a form of control. They wanted to see who was easy to manipulate, she said. It's a chilling allegation that suggests,
if you say the wrong thing or you complain or I don't know, there's an element where you're just, I guess manipulated in a way to make you feel like, oh, you have to please everyone around you. You can't say anything wrong. You don't want to say a bad thing, or when they're constantly asking, would you like to do and you're like, well, I don't do and they're like, well, why don't you do?
Yet for all the shocking claims, perhaps the most troubling aspect of the story is the culture of silence that allowed it to continue for so long. Sources close to Diddy's inner circle described a code of secrecy drilled into everyone who worked for him, from bodyguards to assistants. Everyone knew the rules. What happens in Diddy's world stays in Diddy's world. Breaking that code wasn't just frowned upon, it was seen as an act of betrayal. For those who dared to speak out, the repercussions could be swift and severe. One former employee described being immediately blacklisted after leaving Diddy's employ, unable to find work in the industry again. So how did it all come crashing down? The answer lies in a combination of courage and timing. Over the past year, a growing number of people have come forward to share their stories, emboldened by a cultural shift that's finally starting to hold powerful men accountable. From former partners to employees to partygoers, these accounts paint a picture of a man whose charm and charisma masked a much darker side. While Diddy has denied all allegations against him, the sheer volume of claims and the consistency of the details make them hard to dismiss outright.
In her civil lawsuit, Cassie said that she was the victim of abuse, assault, and at the hands of Diddy.
In fact, it's far from over, with the trial looming and more revelations likely to come to light. The world is watching as one of the most powerful figures in entertainment faces the fight of his life. Will justice be served, or will Diddy find a way to reclaim his throne? One thing is certain, the truth has a way of coming out, and when it does, it has the power to change everything. The only question is, how much further will this story go? And who else might be caught in his wake? Leave your comments below and let us know what you think about these shocking revelations. Until next time, stay tuned for more jaw-dropping celebrity gossip.